warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. I am Pardiansa
And I, Anissa Ramadhani.
and my team from Group 1, Cultural Attraction from Ajiwan, want to tell you about culture of Indonesia.
Indonesia is very rich in traditional culturally, one of which is the culture of Makassar, South Sulawesi. Let's see it together.
Angaro originated from root Aro, which means is odds. If interpreted, Angaro is folk spoken by the people of Goa at the time first. Tradition, this usually spoken by the king's servant to the king, or on the other hand, by the king to these people. Angaro this usually done at the time reception, quest, and party custom, like wedding and party custom other that are ceremony. Aro is poetry all inside. There is meaning philosophy of the principle sincerity, willingness, sincerity, patriotism, abstain, surrender, and a servant who can trust it as well as trust in responsibility in very composition diverse. Angaru or Aru is also believed contains spiritual value. In the meaning of Aru must disclose and implement with real soul. Poetry Angaru is something literary arrangement in Makassar language, which is filled in with sentence, but full loyal courage. Besides the tradition of the era first, done before soldier left to Medan war. Soldiers more formerly must say it Aru, odds loyal, aim from Sombaya. Angaru done aim for a spirit fight, with the value contained in the interpreted as from so self-fulfillment, for state extends as king. The soldiers who have hope, abstinence, for him give up.
Makassar Bugismen must have body. As Makassar people say about body, tihai burane punatina na malaki body. Not a man if he doesn't have body. So the Bugis say, Tania ugi nareka dena punai kawali. Not a Bugis if he doesn't have body. Body is a long knife with a distinctive shape developed by the Bugis and Makassar people. Body generally has single or double sharp edges with a length of about half a meter, compared to a crease whose shape is asymmetrical and the blade is often discolored with plastic. This body has never had marijuana.
Apart from its physical form, badik for the local community is believed to have its own strengths based on the strokes on the iron-colored pamora found on this weapon. Badik is not only mystical but also has economic value and high artistic value. Badik, as a cultural object, understood and trusted by the community, has various functions and uses, not only as a sharp weapon, but people believe that this badik has certain values and meanings. For hundreds of years, the badik was used not only as a weapon but also for self-defense and hunting, as well as an identity for the tribes in South Sulawesi. Well, in general, this badik consists of three parts, namely upstream, handle, blade, iron, warangka or badik gloves. There is also a prospect that is believed to affect the life of its owner. According to the view of the Bugis, every badik has mystical, occult, magic powers, where this power is believed to influence the conditions, circumstance, and life process of the owner. And there is also a belief that people having badik can bring peace and prosperity or poverty and suffering for those who keep it.
Wedding ceremonies have many varieties and variation according to ethnic, religion, cultural, and social class tradition. The use of certain customs or rules is sometimes related to certain religion rules or laws as well. Likewise, in Bugis Makassar cultures, which pass through several steps in wedding ceremony. As you can see, in Bugis Makassar cultures, this is a traditional wedding stage used for various wedding ceremony and wedding rituals. This stage is usually called Lambing Tudangeng in Bugis and Pamempoang in Makassar respectively.
Bugis Makassar traditional wedding processions. The series of Bugis Makassar traditional weddings consists of several processions. Each of these sacred processions also has a deep meaning. The first one is Mammanuk Manu or the exploratory period, and Madutta, which is the process by which the man goes to the bride's parents to ask for permission to marry their child. The second one is Mappetuada. Mappetuada, there is an announcement of the date of the agreement to hold a wedding, dowry, and other wedding needs. The third is Mappasauboting. Mappasauboting is a Bugis Makassar traditional wedding process after the wedding invitation are distributed. This process itself means taking care of the bride and groom. The fourth is Mappanreteme and Mappaci. Mappanreteme is a ritual of Hatam Al-Quran and also asking for prayer to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala so that the marriage can run smoothly. After this ritual, then there is a ritual called Mappaci. Mappaci is the process of giving henna leaves to the bride and grooms as a form of blessing. Usually, the number of people invited to give the henna leaves depends on the social status of the prospective bride and groom. The people who are called to join the Mappaci are usually couples with happy marriage and good social standing. All of this is intended so that the prospective bride and groom can follow in the footsteps of the couple. Mappaci are usually carried out in Lambing Tudangeng or Pamempoang, which are placed with various Mappaci equipment in the form of sarungs of 7 layers according to the degree of nobility, banana leaves, finely grown henna leaves, cigarettes, and dry corn. The fifth is Mappasili. Mappasili is a ritual to clean the bride and groom as well as repel reinforcement. The splash water used by Mappasili is taken from 7 springs and contains 7 kinds of flowers and coins. And the last one is Mapparola. Mapparola is the last event of the Bugis Makassar traditional wedding, which is the bride's visit to the house of the groom's parents.
Tutut suits and bodo cloths are traditional clothing typical of the Bugis Makassar tribe. Generally, these tutut suits and bodo cloths are used on traditional occasions such as weddings and other events such as picking up guests and performing arts.
In ancient times, black or white was the color of a tutut suit that was commonly used. Different at this time, tutut suits are not only black or white, but almost all colors are available. Accessories on a tutut suit in the form of a tapi or keris tucked into the left waist, a chain on a tutut suit as a watch hanger or badge hanger or samparajai.
As you can see, the tutut suit is combined with songkok or head cover and combined with lipas takbe or silseron.
In the Bugis language, bodo cloths are also called waju toko. It is said to be waju toko because before it is used it is first given kanji. But with the development of the modern era, toko is rarely found. Bodo cloths have developed both in the terms of materials and models. A bodo cloth with a decoration called patcebang, in the form of a chain whose edges are in the form of a gold or metal plate with a floral motif. On the sleeve, there is simataya, the way they use it is wrapped around the sleeve of a bodok cloth.
And you can see bodok cloths are also combined with lipasabe or silsaron and combined with hejawali, which in Bugis is called patenre, and other jewelry in the form bracelet, which in Bugis is called ispotobasa.
This bodok cloth has a variety of colors and each color has its own meaning. This meaning symbolizes the age and status of its use. Green for noble woman, dark red for married woman, orange and pink for teenage girls, purple and yellow for widow, and dark colors for older women.
The Pinisi boat is a kind of traditional sailing boat of the Bugis Makassar tribe in South Sulawesi. Made of wood materials which has 2 main poles and 7 sails, which means that the ancestors of Indonesian people were able to sail the 7 big oceans in the world. The Pinisi boat has been used by Bugis Makassar sailors since hundreds of years ago as a means of transportation and also used as a war fleet and inter-island trade.
The first Pinisi boat was built by the Bugis and Makassar tribes in Bulukumba, South Sulawesi in the 14th century or the 140s. The Pinisi boat is a symbol of the archipelagic country's traditional shipping techniques as well as part of the customs of the people of South Sulawesi. As I said at the beginning, this Pinisi boat is made of wood material. Types of wood commonly used to make Pinisi boats are ironwood, bikti wood, kendal or punaga wood, and teak wood. Interestingly, the merging of wood in boat building does not use adhesives such as special wood glue or nails, but uses wooden pegs made from leftover wood from boat building. The process of making this boat also contains values that are reflected in everyday life, such as teamwork, hard work, thoroughness, to respect for nature and the environment. This Pinisi boat is not only used as a means of transportation, but the Pinisi boat is part of Indonesian tourism. Several tour operators offer trips using the Pinisi boat with the route from Labuan Bajo National Park, Bali, to the Thousand Islands. This Pinisi boat has also been officially recognized and designated as a UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage in 2017. Last, before the boat is launched into the sea, there is a Macara Lopi ceremony to purify the boat, which is marked by the slaughter of animals. If the Pinisi boat weighs less than 100 tons, then the animal to be slaughtered is a goat. However, if the boat weighs more than 100 tons, the animal to be slaughtered is a cow.
Pisang epe is one of the many typical food of Makassar, South Sulawesi, which is made from immature kapok bananas or with the each stick. Pisang epe can be interpreted as a grilled banana that are claimed with a become flat. By using plantain, the banana will not be easy to muse. With this unique and simple name, people will be easier to remember. Moreover, coupled with the sweet taste of pisang epe, making anyone who tastes this snack want to taste it again and again.
In the past, pisang epe were only treated with original flour, were only accentuate the sweet taste of plantains that have been burned. But now there are so many flavors offered by pisang epe sellers. These new flavors that have sprung up increasingly spoil audience. The variety of flavors is also makes pisang epe connoisseurs increase. The soft texture, coupled with variety of sweet flavors, can arouse the taste buds while enjoying Losari Beach. If you can't find pisang epe traders around Rosari Beach, then come along Lamadukeleng Street. Although simple, in fact, pisang epe is able to attract the interest and attention of tourists. Its distinctive and sweet aroma makes anyone who smells it tempted to taste this typical Makassar snack.
That's all several culture of Indonesia, especially from Bugis Makassar.
Thank you for watching our video. See you.